All right, I want to talk a little bit about metric prefixes. Let's talk a little about metric prefixes. All right, this goes back to Unit 1. And here we are at the final exam, and this is stuff you still need to know. Okay? Now, here's what you need to know from memory. As I said in Unit 1, you need to know this stuff. And it's not really new, it's stuff you learned in physical science. You learned that the prefix kilo means 1,000 base units. Okay? So, 1,000 base unit, and a base unit is meters, another base unit is liters, another base unit is kilopascals or pascals. What? Kelvin is a base unit. Amperage or amps is a base unit. There are lots of base units in the, let's see what I'm trying to say, it's SI system, which is the, metric system, okay? So 1,000 base units is equal to 1 kilo unit, okay? So, that being the case, listen please, you should be able to tell me now how many kilo units in one base unit. How many kilo units in one base unit? I'm not quite hear everything you're saying. 1,000? 1,000th. Okay. I don't know if that's what you said or not, but you were so quiet I couldn't quite hear the TH on the end if that's what you were saying. Okay. Well, if this is true, I mean, you should know then that 1,000th of a kilo unit is equal to 1 base unit. Anybody? Can anybody tell me how to write this in exponential notation? Mm-hmm.
Is that like 0.00?
Well, that's one way to do it. 0. How many zeros? No.
1 then is 0, 1.
3 zeros. This would be a tenth. This is 100. Well, 3 if you count, if you put the 1 right there. It's not 3 zeros really. It's 2 zeros and the number. Okay. This many kilo units is equal to 1 base unit. Now can we write it in exponential notation?
That's going the other way, right?
No. 10 to the what?
1 to the
10 to the what power?
third.
All right, 1 times 10 to the what power, I guess? Yeah, 1 times 10 to the third, because we're going to move 1, 2, 3 places. So 1 times 10 to the third is equal, kilo units equal to base unit. Okay? Really? 1 times 10 to the negative third kilo units equals 1 base unit. Now, guys, this is not supposed to be something new. This is something you should already know. The basic thing here, you should know from physical science. These relationships you should know from math classes. Okay? It's not really new stuff. All right, let's look at what's a centi? 100. So 100 centi-units is equal to a base unit. Okay? What about a milli? What about a milli? No. How many milli units, Andrew? How many milli units in a base unit? You don't need to listen to other people and just spout out an answer. You need to know this stuff. They're wrong. No? How many milliunits in a base unit? Yes, 1,000. Okay, how about a nano?
Million.
What do you say?
A million.
I think it's a billion, 10 to the ninth, isn't it?
It has a lot of zeros.
A lot of zeros, that's true.
I'm not sure if it's million or billion.
So it's 10 to the ninth nano units in one base unit. All right, look at this. I got all these things equal to a base unit.
So those equality that you
So this is equal to this. And this is equal to that. And this is equal to that. Because they're all equal to a base unit.
so they're all equal to each other.
If you choose the right thing, if they're all equal to a base unit, then they're all equal to each other. And that's the basics. That's all you have to come up with a conversion unit. Because a conversion, I hear a lot of people that are chatting back there, and you really need to pay attention. All you need for a conversion unit are two things that are actually equal to each other. In this case, with the units of measurement. Got that? Now, let's take one and simplify it. Let's take the kilo units, 0.001 kilo unit, and put that equal to the centimeters. All right, since this many kilo units equal a base unit, and this many centi units equal a base unit, then this many kilo units is equal to 100 centi units, right? But let's simplify it. How can we get this side or this side to be just simply 1? Huh? What can we multiply or divide both sides by to get one side or the other equal to 1?
Each other.
Multiply one by the other?
Divide by 100.
You could divide by 100. So if we divide it by 100, let's see, we move this over 2 more places. Is that right? If you don't know that, get your calculator out and try it out.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, you know that thing here we got by drinking chocolate milk?
What?
The little line the conversion units up in order with the base unit in the middle, and you move the decimal place over how many different stations to get to the number. Does that work in this case?
Don't.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. That's a device that helps you figure it out without really understanding it. I want you to understand it. Okay? All right, so if we divide this side by 100, what do you get? Everybody's got calculators, don't you? Well, somebody calculate it then. Everybody calculate it. Yeah. Okay. And 1 e negative 5 is the same thing as 0.00001 kilo unit. And you divide 100 by 100 and you get 1 centimeter. Or centi unit, rather. That's what I should be saying here. Okay? Got that? What if we multiply both sides by 1,000? What happens if you take this and multiply it by 1,000?
You get 0.0000001.
Try it. Multiply this by 1,000.
And then it gets
1 kilo unit. And multiply this side by 1,000.
equals 1. 1,000. Probably 1,000.
Multiply this. You're multiplying both sides by 1,000. Multiply the 100 by 1,000. If only you just wait for me to give you the answer, that's passive learning. That's very little retention of knowledge if you have passive learning. How much? 100,000.
How did you get that?
I put it in the calculator.
No, how do you know to use 1,000? Because that's the basis of kilo?
Because I'm trying to get one side or the other to equal 1,000. I mean, equal 1. And if I multiply this by 1,000, I get 1.
Oh, you
No, I'm just saying either side. Doesn't matter.
Oh, so we could multiply by
We're just simplifying it. Listen, guys, pay attention. This is a perfectly acceptable equality statement. Those two things are equal. This is slightly more simplified, and this is probably a little bit better simplified, but not necessarily. They're all acceptable answers. Does that make sense? Because they're all two sides that are equal. Does that make sense? Well, what's the example on your test, your practice test? Yeah, it has an example on there.
It says 10,000 kilos.
1 kilo unit is equal to 100,000.
Which is what I have right here. Okay? So that all three of these are equality statements. This is just as good as this one, which is just as good as this one. These are only preferred because they're slightly more simple. Okay? All right, now for that information then, you should be able to generate all the other equality statements that question calls for. Okay, now, but before I leave the subject, let's say I have this equality statement, this last equality statement. There are two conversion units I can build from that. Yeah. What are the two conversion units I can build from that? Conversion units always start with an equality statement. I require that all semester long. Okay. All right. Exactly. That should be a 1 there. All right, can I have your complete attention for a minute? Can I have your complete attention for a minute? Please don't play around right now and say things like nope. That's not helpful. And we're like 3 days before your final exam. You need all the help you can get. Okay? And I'm trying to help you as much as I possibly can. There are a handful of basic concepts that you get out of chemistry that will help you no matter what you choose to do in your life. If you choose to cut grass for the rest of your life, this right here can be helpful to you. The understanding of where we get conversion units. Okay? This can help you. No matter what if you're going to cook biscuits for the rest of your life, that right there is going to help you. Now, I hope none of you spend your life cutting grass or making biscuits, okay? Just for that, that's all you do. I hope there's a lot more to your life than that. Can you please pay attention? Please. Guys, I care about your future, and I'm really trying to help you here, okay? If you don't get anything else except those big concepts, this is one of them right here. Where do conversion units come from? How do you make them? If you can figure out two things that are equal, you can always convert. Okay? As long as one of the units matches the starting units of whatever you want to do, whatever amount you're starting with. If you can find two things that are equal and one of those two has the same units and possibly the same species as the starting amount, we have just exactly the same thing we've been doing all semesters as far as conversions are concerned. Every time we've done dimensional analysis, we use this sort of system. One thing equals another, and you build conversion units from it. Okay? All right, I'm going to let you get back to your practice exam.